Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of the endocrine system within the reproductive system. So, our endocrine system is this collection of glands in our body that produce hormones to control different things throughout the body, like our metabolism, reproduction, sleep, just to name a few. But we're going to focus on how the endocrine system and reproduction are intertwined. So that process is a little bit different for males and females, but there are some similarities, especially in regards to hormones. So for both male and female reproduction, the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland are our main glands of hormones for reproduction in this system. So, like I said, the hypothalamus and pituitary control the release of sex hormones, and this system is activated by something called GnRH, which is gonadotropin releasing hormone. This is released by the hypothalamus, and then it stimulates the release of other hormones, one called FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, which is the luteinizing hormone. These both come from the anterior pituitary. So after the GnRH is released from the hypothalamus, it signals the release of these other hormones from the pituitary gland. And these hormones play a really important part in controlling reproduction for both males and females. So we'll start with males and go from there. In males, like I said, the hypothalamus triggers the release of this FSH and LH. And in the male system, FSH enters the testes and stimulates Sertoli cells to begin spermatogenesis, which is sperm production. And then the luteinizing hormone stimulates cells of the Leydig to release testosterone into the testes and the blood. And the testosterone hormone is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics in men. And it also helps stimulate sperm production. When testosterone levels are in this negative feedback loop, Sertoli cells produce a hormone called inhibin, which is released in the blood when sperm count gets too high. And then this hormone inhibits the release of the GnRH and the FSH, which will slow down sperm production. So just like everything else in our body, it's part of a homeostatic mechanism that kind of keeps these levels at an ideal state. So females, similar to males, the anterior pituitary hormone causes the release of this FSH and LH in addition to estrogen and progesterone. And these are released from developing follicles, and the follicles are the egg cells for females. Estrogen is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics in women, and it also helps with endometrial growth, ovulation, and calcium absorption in women. And progesterone is produced in the ovaries and the adrenal glands, and it helps body with conception and regulates the monthly menstrual cycle. In females, the follicle stimulating hormone stimulates the development of the ova, which develops in structures called follicles. Like I mentioned earlier, follicles are the egg cells, and these follicles produce a hormone called inhibin, which, like in men, inhibits FSH production. Luteinizing hormone, LH, also plays a role in the development of the ova for females. The ova helps with ovulation and stimulation of production of something called estradiol, which is a form of estrogen, and more progesterone by the ovaries. So this is helping stimulate those two hormones. These hormones all prepare the body for pregnancy, and if an egg is not fertilized, that's when your menstrual cycle happens and the egg is released out of the body. So those are the hormones that play part in female and male reproduction. And that's all I have.